Steven Seagal walks up to David Carradine at a martial arts expo and says, "You are not a real martial artist. You are just a TV actor pretending." What David says in the next 45 seconds does not defend his honor. It predicts the future, and 30 years later, every word comes true. Los Angeles, California, August 1991, Saturday afternoon, 2:23 p.m. The Los Angeles Convention Center, the International Martial Arts Expo, the biggest gathering of fighters, teachers, and fans in America. 20,000 people filling the halls, demonstration stages everywhere, karate, taekwondo, judo, kung fu, aikido, every style represented, every lineage showing their techniques, vendors selling equipment, publishers selling magazines, schools recruiting students, the smell of sweat and tiger balm and ambition. This is where martial arts meets money, where tradition meets marketing, where real fighters share space with movie stars pretending to be fighters. David Carradine is here signing autographs, a booth in the celebrity section, $50 for a photo, $20 for a signature. The line is steady, not overwhelming. Mostly older fans, people who remember Kung Fu from the 70s, people who grew up watching Kane walk through the American West. He is 54 years old. The fame is fading. Kung Fu ended 16 years ago. The movies since then have been forgettable. Straight-to-video releases. Guest appearances on TV shows nobody watches. He is not washed up exactly, just faded. A name people recognize but cannot quite place. Still, he shows up, signs the photos, takes the pictures, smiles for the fans who remember. 40 feet away is another booth, bigger, flashier, a massive banner with a face on it. Steven Seagal, above the law, hard to kill, marked for death. Steven Seagal is the hottest action star in America right now. 3 hit movies in 3 years, each one making more than the last. He is not just famous, he is a phenomenon. The ponytail, the squint, the Aikido throws that look effortless, because they are. He claims to be a 7th Dan Aikido master, claims to have trained in Japan for 15 years, claims to be the real deal in a world of fakes. His line wraps around the corner, hundreds of people waiting, young men mostly, wanting to be him, wanting to believe that studying Aikido will turn them into action heroes. Seagal sits behind his table like a king receiving subjects, black silk shirt, hair slicked back in that signature ponytail. Bodyguards on either side, not smiling, never smiling, too cool to smile. But then something happens. Seagal notices David Carradine, 40 feet away. Small booth, short line, the old TV guy from before Seagal was born, before martial arts movies were real, when everything was fake and slow and embarrassing. Seagal stands up, says something to his bodyguard, starts walking toward David's booth. The crowd parts for him, people pointing, whispering. Steven Seagal is walking through the expo. Where is he going? What is happening? David sees him coming. Finishes signing a photo for a middle-aged woman. Thanks her. Watches Seagal approach. Seagal stops in front of David's table, crosses his arms over his chest. His bodyguard stands behind him. A wall of muscle. The people in David's line back away, sensing something, tension in the air. Seagal speaks first, loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. David Carradine, the Kung Fu guy. David nods. Steven Seagal, the Aikido guy. Seagal does not smile. I have been watching you all day, signing autographs for people who think you know martial arts. David shrugs. They are paying for my signature, not my fighting skills. But then Seagal says something that changes the energy completely. That is the problem. People like you confused an entire generation. They watched your TV show and thought that was Kung Fu. Thought those slow choreographed dances were real fighting. You set martial arts back 20 years. The crowd murmurs. 10, 15 people listening now. More drifting over. Steven Seagal confronting David Carradine. This is worth seeing. David stays seated, calm, the cane stillness he perfected decades ago. And what did you do, Steven? Move it forward. Seagal straightens, proud. I showed people real Aikido, real technique, real martial arts from a real master, not some actor pretending. David nods slowly. You are a seventh Dan. Is that right? Seagal's chest puffs. The first foreigner to open a dojo in Japan, trained under the greatest masters. I am the real thing. You are just an actor. David considers this. The crowd growing. 20 people now. 30. Word spreading through the expo. Something happening at the Carradine booth. Let me ask you something, Steven. Seagal waits. Confident. How many films have you made? Seagal smirks. 3. All hits. All successful. All showcasing real martial arts. David nods. I have made over 200. Seagal laughs. Garbage. Straight to video trash that nobody watches. Some of it. Yes. But here is my question. In your 3 films, how many times did you tell the audience you were a real martial artist? Seagal frowns. What do you mean? Every interview, every press junket, every magazine article. You tell people you are a real 7th Dan, a real Aikido master, a real trained killer. So, it is true. Maybe. But then David says something that makes Seagal's smile disappear. I never told anyone I was real. Not once in 16 years of Kung Fu. Not once in 200 films. I told them I was an actor, playing a role, learning enough to look convincing on camera. Nothing more. He leans back. You built your career on people believing you are something. I built mine on people watching me pretend to be something. When your audience finds out the difference between your marketing and your reality, what happens to your career? Seagal's face hardens. There is no difference. I am what I say I am. David shrugs. Maybe. But here is what I know about Hollywood. They love to build people up, and they love even more to tear them down. You are on top right now. 3 hits. Everyone believes the legend, but legends get tested, stories get checked, and when someone finally asks the hard questions, he pauses. I will still be here signing autographs for $50. The honest fake. Where will you be? Seagal steps closer, his bodyguard tensing. Are you calling me a liar? I am calling you a risk. You have staked everything on being real. I staked nothing on it. When the wind changes, who has further to fall? Seagal's fist clenches. For a moment, it looks like he might actually swing at a 54-year-old man in the middle of a crowded expo. But then someone in the crowd speaks up. An older man, gray hair, calloused hands, the look of someone who has actually trained for decades. He is right, you know. Seagal spins. What? The old man shrugs. Carradine never claimed to be a master. You claim it every interview. If someone proves you exaggerated even a little, your whole brand collapses. His brand is acting. You cannot collapse acting. Another voice. A woman this time. My son started martial arts because of Kung Fu. He is a black belt now. Trains every day. David Carradine inspired him. What did you inspire? People to watch movies. More murmurs. The crowd shifting. Not against Seagal exactly, but not with him either. Seagal looks around, realizes he is not winning this confrontation, realizes the crowd is not on his side the way he expected. He turns back to David. 30 years from now, we will see who history remembers. David nods. Yes, we will. Seagal turns, walks back to his booth, the bodyguard following, the crowd parting again. But the energy is different now, less reverent, more curious. David watches him go, then turns to the next person in line, a young man holding a Kung Fu poster. Sorry about that. The young man shakes his head. That was amazing. You did not back down at all. David signs the poster. I did not have to. I never claimed to be something I am not. That is the safest position in the world. 30 years pass. 2021. David Carradine is gone, died in 2009, but his legacy is secure. Kung Fu is remembered as groundbreaking television. Kill Bill revived his career. People speak of him with respect. The actor who never pretended to be more than an actor. Steven Seagal. 2021. His career is rubble. Direct-to-video movies nobody watches. Russia granting him citizenship after America grew tired of his claims. Allegations of assault. Allegations of exaggeration. His Aikido credentials questioned by actual practitioners. The Seventh Dan story falling apart under scrutiny. The internet made him a joke. Memes everywhere. Compilation videos of his obviously fake fighting. His running style. His speaking style. Everything that once seemed cool now seems ridiculous. The thing David Carradine predicted in 1991 came true. Exactly as he described it. The man who claimed to be real became a punchline. The man who admitted to being fake became a legend. Because authenticity is not about what you can do. It is about what you claim you can do. David claimed nothing, so nothing could be taken from him. Steven claimed everything, so everything was eventually stripped away. The Martial Arts Expo in 1991 was 45 seconds that predicted 30 years of history, not through fighting, through understanding something about fame that most people never learn. The higher you build the lie, the harder it falls. The truth about being fake is the safest truth there is. He once said that the hardest role he ever played was not Kane, not Bill, but himself. A man caught between what he pretended to be and what he wanted to become. And maybe that is why his story still resonates. Because we all know that feeling. The gap between the mask and the face beneath it. Is there a moment in your life where someone saw through your mask? Or a moment where you finally took it off yourself? David Carradine walked through Hollywood for 50 years, carrying questions most people never ask out loud. About authenticity, about legacy, about what it means to be real in a world that rewards pretending. If you want to know the real stories, the ones they did not put in the interviews, you are in the right place. We are peeling back the curtain on the man behind the monk. If this story moved you, hit that like button. It helps more people discover these untold moments. Do not forget to subscribe to David Carradine, The Untold Path. We are just getting started. There are stories about Bruce Lee, about Uma Thurman, and about the father who died in his arms. You do not want to miss what is coming next. Leave a comment below. What is your favorite David Carradine role? And did you know he carried this much weight behind the calm? I will see you in the next video. Walk the path.